Yeah, Underground was. And Underground 2 was. But it did sell gangbusters, even more than probably the first 6 NFS games combined. But speaking of those games, I'm pretty sure their fans feel really alienated by the whole tacky tuner car racing in the city at night. Also, no cops inside shtick the Underground games provided. You know what these games are missing? Supercars, more exotic locales, and oh yeah, cop chasers! There's none of that! How about some taste over here? Well, EA and Black Box listened, and their former greenlit a follow-up that drastically changes everything. It will have supercars, it will have cop chases, it won't have exotic places, but a grimy city will suffice, and the races will all take place during times of daylight. But to also appease the new Underground crowd, there's still gonna be some customization and more shitboxes too. You know what? Fuck it! I'm done with this franchise! Fuck you! And fuck these children! So, what about you? I can't wait! Enter Need for Speed Most Wanted, which I think is the peak of the franchise. I like the classic games, but I'm not apologizing. As usual, it was released in November 2005 for almost every system that was sold at the time, including the newfangled Xbox 360, serving as a launch title for it. For the handheld versions, they were handled by Team Fusion for the Rush to Hell and Back PSP game, which I'll talk a bit more way later, Pocketeers for the GBA DMake, and Sensory Sweep Studios for the DS version this time. And I say, compared to UG2 on the same system, it looks really rough. My gods. But let's not focus on that too much. I might get a migraine if I do. You know what else gives me a migraine? If you thought the craze of releasing deluxe editions with extra in-game goodies was a recent trend, you're unfortunately wrong. The PC and PS2 versions have 2 editions you could buy, the Standard Edition and the Black Edition. The main difference is that the latter has the sweet legal M3 GT-R and the first-gen Camaro SS as bonus cars, a few pre-tuned cars, a few more events for quick race, a few more vinyls, and a challenge series event, as well as a bonus DVD with behind-the-scenes content. While the DVD is a good enough incentive in my book, the rest on the other hand is rather trivial, especially when you can use extra options to make them show up on the regular version nowadays. Oh great, I'm already complaining. Let's not waste more time and see how good you're truly doing in the daylight, with piss and Vaseline smeared all over it. So get fired up and let's move, because I'm doing my thing of racing this decadent city under my wheels with a bloody and thunderous fist to feed my addiction of this game. I'm Pinkie and I'm a shapeshifter. Sup?
Come on, man, you can't be real. I'ma show you what it is at the end of build. Shine, shifter. Put the pedal to the metal and go.
Start it up, unsealing A-bit, no TH checks, the audience's hearing are safe. And Josie Marin behind the green screen telling you to not drive like Caitlyn Jenner on the streets. Now that's familiar territory.
On the streets, drive safely and responsibly, and wear your seatbelt.
And here's a pre-rendered intro with the M3 GT-R and RX-8 racing each other, only to be chased by cops, including this black and yellow undercover vet. It is a nice looking intro, and it does pump you up as much as the Underground 1 video. Ooh, cop chases? Sign me up! Too bad someone forgot to put a body count on the RX-8 though. Oh yeah, I really love this, especially the song. A version of Public Enemy's B-side Wins Again by Spooky D and Dave Lombardo, one of those remixes that I love more than the originals. Oh, and the first thing you hear at the main menu? I'm in high spirits already. Sure beats Snoop Dogg. Let's talk career mode. And already we're starting hot. A street race has started. A police chase is happening. Chaos ensues. You finally get to play for a bit. And then some late tells me my car is missing its oil. What the fuck is happening? Let's slow it down a bit, as the game flashbacks to 6 days ago, where the M3 GT-R driver in me arrives in the city of Rockport, and has a little race with the woman in the red RX-8. And then this Corvette cop car shows up, and we meet one of the villains of the game, Sergeant Nathan Cross. Or Jonathan Cross according to this strategy guide. Hey, wasn't her car supposed to be black and yellow?
Oh man, did you pick the wrong street to run on?
Cross wants my car stripped and warns me that there's a mole in the city street racing scene that will spell its complete destruction.
Looks like your racing days are over.
Let me let you in on a little secret. Street racing in Rockport is finished. I've got a beautiful little surprise that's gonna tear you guys apart from the inside out.
But a random dispatch call tells him to stop a race, and crossing his body begrudgingly head there, not before he scratches my beamer with his car key.
Nice pinstripe.
Piece of shit. 2 days later, I found a willing racer in a yellow Supra, this fine gentleman named Ronnie. Easy pickings. No joke. Go on, white boy, give us nothing. I gotta say, fuck what Sophie said about the car. The raceback M3 GT-R is a nice looking car. The livery may be simple, but I love it. And the sound is just so great. Now granted, while it is a V8, it's not the same V8 sound that comes from that in real life. The sound actually comes from a 4.5 liter V8 of a TVR Subaru made to sound like the real deal. But even then, it's still mesmerizing, and the straight cut gear has helped that a lot. Anyways, I won as I reached the docks, which has a car meet happening. It's where I meet the other bad guy in the game, Clarence Callahan, no relation, better known as Razor. He chastises Ronnie for being a slow fuck, and then taunts my ride, wondering if it's for real or just a bolted on mess.
Another bolt-on wonder boy looking to get smoked. Why don't we save you the grief and peel those parts right now?
Bolt on or not, that ride is hot.
It's me! Wait, that can't be me. I'm bustier and bulkier than her. Meet Mia Townsend, played by actress Josie Marin. Unlike Brokeberg, who had a higher profile than her, though more as a host than an actress, here she's best known for minor roles in Hollywood movies before this. Here's her in Van Helsing as a vampire bride confronting Hugh Jackman. And here's her in The Aviator as a cigarette lady being flirted by Leo. Unlike those, however, she's playing a main character, which would be great if it were a proper movie. Instead, she's in a game where the cutscenes were filmed in front of a green screen. Afterwards, she retired from acting in 2008 to focus on her own cosmetics company, with 2006's direct-to-DVD horror The Grave Dancers being her last movie credit. At least it wasn't full of Chroma King. Razor's already suspicious of Mia, who just showed up on the scene and is admiring my car, but he puts $5 grand to anyone who's willing to race against me.
What's your boy have to do with this?
I ain't racing this nobody. And I ain't taking orders from some chick who just rolled onto the scene.
Yeah. This here is the number 15 guy on the Blacklist. You got a lot of rep to earn before you get to run with him.
Thanks for the update. Another buddy of his, Toru Sato, no relation, accepts it, but Mia then adds another $5 grand to the pot, which makes Razor call the cops to up the ante. Oh goody. I'll bet both shitbugs were getting pounded for supercar! That's one way of showing us the goods. Too bad he sucks! I hope he improves a lot by the time I meet him again.
Well, look what the underground let loose. Let's see how good you do in the daylight.
A few days later, after doing a circuit race with a guy named Raj, Razor, learning of my rapid rise, challenges me to a pink slip race, and a chance for me to enter the Blacklist. Oh shit.
What? Didn't anybody tell you? You gotta put your ride on the line to run against the Blacklist racer, and that is why people aren't stupid enough to do it.
I'm definitely gonna lose my car, aren't I? D-Day, or like Judgment Day.
How's your car running?
It's fine. It's running fine.
First I'm gonna take your ride, then I'm gonna take your girl. Get ready for that.
Hey, remember how that race went when we first saw it? Well,
Supervisor requesting you set up a quadrant ASAP. Units remain on Code 6 status till further notice.
this is a letdown. If I can be honest with you, this is a review after all, I think it would be better for the game to start at the point where I enter Rockport, and when we reach the Razor race, then we see that character cutscene that leads to the Beamer getting shit-canned. I just think it's more effective and gut-wrenching than what the final product showed us. It didn't entirely spoil the outcome, but still, it would have been less predictable, save for this foreshadowing. Anyways.
Hey, there's something wrong with your ride.
It's a BMW, it is to be expected.
You left a huge oil slick at the start line. You have to end the race fast.
Oh shit. No, my baby! At least it didn't burn my engine. But yeah, my car got fucked for some reason, and now Razor owns it. Everybody laughs. At me.
Thank you for the ride. I knew you weren't Blacklist material. She's mine now. And I'm gonna ride her like you never could.
Hard and flat.
And then the cops showed up with Cross at the helm, as if my day couldn't get any worse.
Hey, where's your fancy ride?
Who cares? He's not gonna need him where he's going. And they're gonna love you in the big house, baby.
Fucking Cross, fucker misgendered me like putting salt on a wound. But thankfully, the cops released me shortly after because, no joke, they couldn't prove that I was a street racer without a car as evidence.
I heard they didn't have enough on you. Guess it's hard to nail you for street racing when you don't have a ride.
That's not important though. Turns out my M3 got sabotaged by Razor, either him or one of his cronies, and now he used it to get to the top of the blacklist. The bastard! Oh, but he's just sitting there going, Kachika! Kachika! Did I reference a shitty Pixar movie? Whatever, just drop me off here. Right, with only 30 grand for my race winnings, plus extra from a UG2 save, it's time to start all over again. Now, what do we have here? Lexus IS, already a good choice. Chevy Cobalt, not as good, even in real life from what I heard. But if you're a weirdo, this could be it. This is if you hate yourself. And oh, the Mark V Golf, everyone's favorite starter. So long as you have an Underground 2 save with you. What a great choice for my first car, isn't it? Well, yeah, I will drive the Golf as my starter. Just not this one, though. The other Golf is better. Let's head to my new home. What the fuck is this piece of shit? Anyways, if I want to fight Razor and get my ride back, I had to reach to the top of the blacklist by defeating each and every one of the 14 pricks that dares challenge him to the top. Huh, should be easy. But Mia isn't the only one helping. There's also Raj, that guy I raced with before I lost my Beamer.
I heard what happened. I told you these guys were dirty. If you're an enemy of Razor's, you're a friend of mine.
He mostly gives you tips and tricks when it comes to gameplay, as well as warning you that a blacklist racer is ready to race with you. Well guys, it's time to get to work. Not by racing the blacklist yet, but by looking at this piss sample first.
It's a control with us. It's a control with us. Let's roll.
Let's just get the elephant in the room out of the way. It's too brown! It doesn't matter the time of day, it's just gonna look brown, or creamy yellow, or dark green. Barely any blues here. Okay, the only time of day that works here are the sunset ones. Man, look how beautiful it all looks. But the rest are just, ugh. I get the intention here. The color grading is like this, still a much grimier game than their previous entries. A lot of dirt and garbage, dilapidated buildings here and there, and graffiti in some of the walls. All that's missing is a lot of tents on the sidewalks at some places. Plus, it's auto, so it kind of would have been expected. But despite that, I really don't like the look. You know you're in trouble when the GBA version is more colorful than that. I feel GTA San Andreas on the PS2 did that intention a lot better than this, and also had better looking motion blur. My god, this is so much worse than the Underground 1. And the worst part is that you can't disable it in the options menu, not even if you set the post-processing low. I mean, it's reduced, but it's still there. So you have to either edit the registry, or just use the Widescreen Fix to disable it. Much easier. Well, at least setting that to low disables the piss filter, revealing its literal true colors. Man, this is just mesmerizing. Holy shit, the sky is, gray. Yeah, other than the sunset, it's always overcast or raining. Plus, turning that off also disables the flashes whenever you get spotted by cops, or the heat reaches a new level. But still, color! All that aside, the graphics are still pretty great. As a big fan of autumn, I love the scenery a lot. Brown leaves falling from the trees, the scenery in more rural areas, even the urban parts are good too. The cars look great as well, though I've noticed one of the cars were not visual oversight. The Golf is better, not if I can see a gap in the headlight housing there. Still very hard to see a Punto here, well detailed for a 2005 PS2 game too. I know that this is the PC version, but still. And hey, there's damage! Well, visual at least. Well, just scratches and broken glass really. The cop cars get all the glory, bastards! And of course, Rockport is infested with adverts. Yeah, I know real life is as well, but this is more distracting. And most of them showed up in Underground too, so it's hard for me to do the shouting like last time. Axe body spray! I'm giving you a bath. No! It's much better seeing the fake ones made for this game. Reboost, health, and hip-hop centers. Rock hard in Rockport. Don't even try to resist. Brought to you by the Rockport Police Department. Octodef. Am I in the 50s or something? Much like the look of the game, the HUD also has piss on it. Joking aside, I quite like it more than the one in Underground 2. Sure, it's transparent, and you still get the occasional switching of the timings like in the previous games, but it's still slick, and at least it keeps switching away more frequently. And of course, the green nitrous bar to contrast it all. It's really fun that this and the pause bit has a different style compared to the rest of the menus, and it somehow works. I really love it. Ignore the rearview mirror while on chase cam. I should have disabled that in HD reflections first. Sad that I already missed the starting line audience, and instead you have red smoke coming out of the finish line. And no replay feature, that sucks. I mean, I've been a little harsh on it in my Underground 2 video, but man, how do I show off my golf then? Don't worry, I found a solution. And at least it shows me tips in the PC version. As for the cutscenes, at least they're not comic book pages this time. Instead, we have live action actors acting in front of a green screen, like it's an old 90s CD game chock full of FMVs. Shit, let me check the kitchen.
So I got soda and water. Where'd you go?
While I'm fine with the cheesiness of them, it's a shame they look like they're coated in Vaseline. Look how smudged the image is. Why do they have to be this way? Aside from the parts installation bits and the GPS thingy, the menu sounds are all completely original, and they're great. Even the transitions, they get top marks from me. But the best part has to be the engine noises. Like in UG2, they sound realistic, and with supercars comes exotic notes. The Lamborghinis of the Carrera GT, oh how glorious. It's a shame the Mazdas still sound like shit. No offense, but they still remind me of the GT1 noise. As for acting, I'm thankful I'm playing the English version this time. But yeah, for the cops themselves, they're mostly professional doing pursuits. There was that time I got called a moron doing one of them.
He's just a stupid kid, I got him.
But other than that, there's barely a hint of swearing and no excessive complaining, unlike in the last two recent NFS entries, and I've always preferred this over them anyway. I'm sure actual cops do actually act like the ones in Heat and Unbound, but it just sounds fake to me. In the cutscenes, it's also cheesy, but memorable in a good way still. Hell, I think the dialogue here is way more memorable than in Underground 2. The only thing I remember from one of the characters there is Caleb challenging me for a race at the end. I can recite his speech by heart. You're nothing but bad luck! I took you out once, and I'm gonna do it again! I'm calling you out! Right here, right now! Everything on the line! You down, or what? But other than that, I forgot. In Most Wanted, the amount of quarrel lines are staggering to say the least. How's your car running? Bus stop's that way, champ. Nice pinstripe. Well then, where's your punk money then? What happens is he's all show and no go. First I'm gonna take your ride, then I'm gonna take your girl. Get ready for that. This here is a number 15 guy on the Blacklist. I like to take a little peek under the hood. Did you pick the wrong street to run on? Ready to donate another car to the Razor Fund, baby? Everyone! And it's all thanks to the efforts from the actors. Some just hemming it up, like the guy playing Ronnie.
You think beating him was easy? Yeah, we'll see how easy it is when you run against me. Let's drive safe, sucker.
Though I might have to deduct a few points due to Josie Maron's acting. I get that she was more of a screen actress than a voice actress, but I feel she kind of underacted, even in scenes where she should have had more intense acting.
Hey, there's something wrong with your ride. You left a huge oil slick at the start line. You have to end the race fast.
Also, she mispronounces Raj's name as Rogue.
Get that raw guy to help you out. Just don't let him figure out what's going on. Later.
Although, consider her character by the end, it's probably intentional. Now for the soundtrack, and I'd like to talk about the original style made for the game by Paul Linford. Yeah, the Underground games did have such, but it's only relegated to cutscenes and when you buy your first car in the first game's sake. Here, they have more use in game, relegated to the pursuits. The 4 interactive tracks are a mixture of electronic rock and orchestral sounds, the latter of which plays when the chase gets intense, and I really love them so much. They sound really great, especially this one where it goes. Or this one during cooldown at speed where it goes. But my favorite has to be this one because it sounds very different, at least in speed, and a different starting clef or whatever. I especially love the speedy cooldown part, really sounds like winning. Though I prefer the combo cooldown in the first and second pursuit themes I played. Then we move on to the licensed stuff. Right off the bat, it's an awesome improvement from Underground 2. Almost all the songs go hard and fit the setting so well. Even the rap music works, even the cheesy sounding Let's Move by Perceptionists.
Adrenaline, hip-hop's propelling through my melanin. Gentlemen, behold!
Live on David Letterman, you're sold on the brother's whole song. You want to hear another verse? Everybody cool, hola.
Styles of Beyond Superstars is awesome.
Click, click, pow, pow, what? Just what I thought was up now.
Fuck, I meant 9,000 Superstars remix.
Click, click, pow, what? Just what I thought was up now.
Yeah, it's cleaned up here, which I'll talk more later, but still. The rock and metal selection is great, from Lexo Disturbed, Static X, Avenged Sevenfold, Mastodon, Cell Dweller, and Bullet for My Valentine. Awesome! As well as a heavy selection of electronic delicacies. Diesel Boy, Stratus, The Fucking Prodigy. Shapeshifter is the best out of all though. Hey, did you know that the guy behind Cell Dweller also found the Synthwave Project's Candroid? No joke. It's no wonder this is considered the best soundtrack of the franchise by many. Though one negative I have, sacrilege. This is the inclusion of Jamiroquai's song Feels Like It Should, at least a remix by Timo Maas. I don't know, I think it just doesn't fit well, but that's just a minor complaint compared to this next one. It can't be a Need for Speed game without some musical censorship. While the age rating got bumped to a T, that doesn't mean the songs aren't butches as shit. They still usually are. Take for instance 9,000 by Styles of Beyond. For comparison, the original version showed up in SmackDown vs. Raw, and in there, it just has the questionable wording muted. But unlike that, and the rest of this soundtrack, this takes a hot action cop approach of cleaning the lyrics up, which, after listening to the original, it's for the best.
You know the routine, the demon effect, please don't step. You wanna feed one of my pet peeves? The more beef, the better. Sound gay, but you all wanna sleep together, okay?
However, they try rhyming okay with strange.
The more beef, the better. Sound strange, you all wanna creep together, okay?
It kinda works, but it's still off. Southwell Shapeshifter is next, another iconic one involving styles and beyond as well, though the approach to clean it up is different in that it just bleeps the more questionable bits like headshots, cage fights, and putting someone in a gasket, even if they're just metaphors for a song about street racing.
It's not likely the brains is blown out. You're chasing a ghost with no brakes, slow down. 100 proof octane, ready to drink, bitch. Stop playing, I'm hot, man. Give me that pink slip.
But instead of just muting them, they decided to glitch set parts, and to me, it really works.
I told you, I don't wanna close your and quick now before you go blowing the gasket.
Sunny Clay's In a Hood Near You, a song about the struggles of living in a bad neighborhood full of crime, is of course heavily censored by reversing and glitching as well, including the chorus, which sounds like me fastening a seatbelt.
I tell them anywhere's good, but what's really good? My hood. I tell them anywhere, but what's really good? My hood.
Sets go up as it does the glitching sensors, while Do Your Thing as the usual meaning of bad words.
Sit 'em out, TVs, I'ma flip 'em out. 50 bang, tell 'em.
But Let's Move is heavily butchered by just copy-pasting bits of the song through the more questionable stuff.
We wanna show you what oppression is, so we'll speak in split sentences. Get sick, hail drop, make a try.
Can't talk about oppression in jail sentences here. Now so far, I've been talking about his rap catalog, which, yeah, just be expected. But the other songs suffered as well, like Skinny Man by Static X, which, as well as doing the same trick as Let's Move for the first fucked up verse, and the motherfucking chorus, used the word hell for some reason.
As my skin turns yellow, I forget this.
Same happened to Blinded by Chains too.
They had it their way, I'm burning. And the freak is off, disaster, can't you see?
Was Hill not tier friendly or something? What do you think this is? Forza Horizon? Or so, was the word swag in Tower of the Machine too much as well?
My swag touches every enemy within my clutches. Wish y'all did it ain't touches every enemy within my clutches.
Well, at least we ended up getting the immortal line, "My little girl destroyed you." Hand of Blood, despite being called Hand of Blood, as well as having Hand of Blood in the chorus, is shortened a bit by removing Soaked in Red from the first verse. Sure, and then there's One Good Reason, which is just the instrumental version here for one good reason. It's a shame some people actually feel that way due to the world throwing to deep shit nowadays. This would be a great opportunity to advertise BetterHelp or something. You know, if I was such a fucked up sellout. But yeah, despite all that messy censorship and me trying to get used to hearing his dirty versions, I still really love the soundtrack. It's way better than Payback. It's to be expected from me. Now, if I want to talk about story as well as gameplay, I'll also have to talk about the Blacklist races from now on. And much like how I did for the Circus in Underground 1, I'm gonna rank all the 15 races with another tier list, again from A to D. I'm ranking them based on not just how challenging they and their events are, but also how good the preliminary races and milestones are. And we'll start from number 15, which means it's gonna be a bore before you reach. I'm gonna cut him some slack though. He's basically the tutorial racer, which teaches you the basics of the game, how pursuits work, and how the bosses are handled. Even the song choice is perfect. However, he has a distinct honor of being the only Blacklist racer where you must do all the races and almost all the milestones before challenging him. Thankfully, just these 3 easy races, a speed trap, and 3 milestones, but still, not a bad start. For the controls, oh man, I love it! They work very similar to Underground 2, but it's been improved, especially the handling. Sure, when you start career mode, you know, after all that, your car is slow, very real spin happy, and the handling is rather vague, but not as much as in Underground 2, thankfully. But oh boy, upgraded, even if not to the fullest, you'll notice such a stark difference. They're grippier than the cars in Underground 2. They're even faster than them too. Holy shit, how I missed these speeds there. And the camera pulling out and begrudgingly the motion blur really sells the sense of speed so well. I really love it. It ain't perfect though, as it should really. Like in Underground 1, your car can just snap to a slide without an easy way to fix it. Thankfully, it's much rarer and more dependent on which car you drive. Some cars are decent handling, others prioritize speed more, but then there's a few that are masters of both and very much appease the meta. Something that I don't really believe in. Oh, I believe in God. I believe in many actually, but I don't think such a thing that considerably breaks the game exists at all. But yeah, it's the Carrera GT, the Lotus Elise, and the M3 GT-R after regetting it. Not to be confused with the M3 GT-R in the Prologue, which is a lot slower than that. Though the Elise has the best handling out of the three, I think. Handles like a dream, anything else feels like a downgrade. The only downside is so small and in turn easy to get you busted. But at least the physics are more forgiving too. Not always. This tends to happen, but other than that, it's not as terrible as the Underground games. At least you don't pirouette if you hit traffic. They're still annoying, but not as much. And of course, the nitros can be refilled like last time, even if you can't overfill it anymore. However, instead of doing stunts, the supply just slowly refills by itself. It's really great, and it saves me the trouble doing races with barely any traffic in a way. But now I also wish I could do stunts as well to do so. Oh well, at least Unbound kinda lets me do that. But don't think I'm done with driving though. Now I have a new thing to play with, and it's something called Speed Breaker. What it does is slow the game down. Not as in tank the frame rate as in going in slow motion. But that's not the only thing it does. It also increases the car's grip and gravity for better cornering, in case you're having trouble with some parts of the track, or your car is not oversteering. Plus, it makes your car a lot heavier, which can be really useful when you're about to drive through a roadblock. And you can easily crash through them without slowing down too much. Oh, I love this. I love it a lot. Oh yeah! Yeah! Oh, I'm in awe by how amazing it plays. Doesn't mean I want it in every game though. Back to Sonny, while his shop there's one way to familiarize the real deal, his boss races are just darn easy. I'd say it takes more effort to lose against him than winning. He does catch up in the second race, but in the end, he's effortlessly defeated. At least it's not Caleb.
Is that your fantasy?
Every time you defeat a Blacklist racer, you get to pick 2 of the 6 markers given to you. Half of them are the so-called Junkman parts, whereas the others are some goodies like more cash, get out of jail free cars, a strike riser, or even a pink slip. Choose wisely. Fuck! It's best to just take the performance part card first and ignore the other Junkman stuff. Their stuff has the best upgrades that can make your star card, even the Punto, a force to be reckoned with. Enough to make racers shake in fear. The visual stuff is just there to trick you into thinking you'll get a unique thing, when really they serve as free vouchers for even stuff that won't get unlocked until much later. Still not worth it though. It's Tess! Driving a shit called Lexus. At least pick a better color than that. For the opponents, I guess it's bad of me to play with mods here. At least this car has the same specs as a vanilla Mark V. Just like in the Underground games, it doesn't matter how built your car is. If it's stock, everyone's stock as well. If they are nitrous, so does everyone else, you know the drill. However, despite not having the option to select which this time around, the difficulty is actually way more inconsistent. Sometimes my opponents will keep getting close via rubber banding, bringing down my neck for most of the race. Other times they just slip away so fast and so far, as if catch-up was turned off. And there were times that happened in one race, and that can be really scary. Early in one race, they got close to me, but later on, they are way behind me. I'm worried the opposite will happen. At least their names can be funny. Some have normal names like Sean, Ricky, Ross, Hildebrand, and Inez, with a Z. Still normal though, but others have such silly nicknames: Turbo Freak, Taco, Sushi, Thrust, Nightspeed, Citizen 5, and of course, Criminal. Still hilarious. And why does Ronnie keep showing up in different cars? You'd think I'm that stupid? The traffic can be annoying and scary as well, especially if an event has it set to the maximum. We don't have Underground's white vans to doom anymore, but we do have big rigs. Fuck! They're a double-edged sword, though one side is more blunt than the other. On one hand, you can brute force it to release its payload in order to disable some cop units. Unfortunately, it only works when the trailer is either carrying tree logs or cars. And even then, they're not as useful as static pursuit breakers. This ain't carbon yet. Really, most of the time, you're only hurting yourself more than the others, so it's not recommended. As for Freddie Prinze Jr. here, this is still early in the Blacklist, but it can be challenging. He's clingy for most of the races, which I can commend. And at least in not circuit races, I'm always more fun at point-to-point races, really. Mia, don't! This car has no passenger seat whatsoever! Mia gives me a PDA where I can look up my own rap sheet full of stats and rankings in single or the playthrough's lifetime, which would make any completions either eager or irritated that they have to get to the top of these as well. Me personally, I really don't give a shit. I will do all the milestones, but not everything else. Not Carlos Sainz Sr. unfortunately. Tangent, but does his signature even say Vic to you? Seriously, it doesn't say Vic, Victor, or Vasquez at all. It just scribbles, really. Apparently, he's an associated Razor who's just put there to give me a lot of trouble. But at least the preliminary stuff aren't that bad. Do a pursuit in less than 4 minutes, damage a few coppers, and accumulate some bounty. For race types, it has been significantly reduced to 6. We now just have Circuit, Sprint, Lab Knockout, now back to Career Mode, Drag Racing, and 2 new ones, Speed Traps and Toll Booths. The first 3 are, you know the deal already. Though it's weird that Lab Knockout has its own set of circuits instead of sharing with the regular ones. Same for Speed Traps, but we'll get to that shortly. Then there's Drag Racing, which is drag racing from the Underground games. Scarier than any drag strip you'd find in real life, and yet still more fucking infuriating than regular boring drag racing. It's somehow hard to win these races, not just due to the cars being faster, even when lightly tuned compared to a fully built one in Underground, but also the traffic's a bitch too! It's way easier to get your car totaled than in the previous 2 games. I should have reserved this one line for this because I get hit by cars constantly despite changing lanes. Plus, all the courses are curved, yet with the straighest one being the Ocean Drive one. This is just a bad combination. Good on Black Box for removing a bunch of drag events before releasing them, but I just wish they removed the mode altogether because it still sucks so much ass. Then you have these 2. Speed Trap is where you must accumulate as much speed as you can by passing these Coronas. Whoever gets the most by the finish line wins, and when whoever crosses it first, the rest will get their speed talent reduced over time until they cross it. On paper it's fine, but in execution, due to rubber banding, it's the second most difficult race type in the game. If you're ahead, your opponents will charge ahead and steal position, and that can be frustrating. But hey, if you're way ahead and finish first, your totals will get subtracted and that'll increase your winning chances, right? Not always. I think it's always best to never be ahead of everyone when doing these races. Hell, giving them a head start before you might help you a lot. Still, not my favorite, but you know what is? Well, not this, but it's close. Toll booths are just your run-of-the-mill solo checkpoint races where you pass through said toll booths to get more time. Reach the end before that runs out. It's actually pretty peaceful to do these challenges, especially when you have a fully tuned car. You'll easily win at these for some quick cash, the perfect grind in the later stages of the game, if you ask me. Though you won't be grinding for too long. Sure, cops can still show up at times during them, but other than that, I love them so much. Back to Vic, he may be breathing down my neck for most of the 2 races, especially the second one, but he did slip up a few times. Overall, not someone to mess with, which the same could be said about these 2.
Good run. I like your style.
Camden Beach is unlocked. What a dump.
I am right, ain't no breaking me. I am right, ain't no shaking me.
Oh hey, it's pro wrestler Rosa Mendez. Shit, did I say 6 race types? Sorry, I meant to say 7. Don't worry, I'll do it for you. 6-7, 6-7, 6-7. But what is this 7th type I'm talking? It's Cup Chases, you already guessed it. Yes, the Cup Chases are back. They were gonna be back in Underground too, though I assumed they were there to test it out or something. If it did fully return there, that will piss Honda off even more. Back to this, I think that this is the best game mode in Most Wanted, bar none. Way more entertaining than the races, really. With the open world, Black Box created a playground for you to go face to face with them, providing you with challenges and tools to make this so good. The Cups keep up with you really well. They try to stop you with such a variety of tactics, and there can be a ton of units chasing you this time. Not a handful of them like in the old games. Holy shit! But at least the Cup cars are lighter and weaker than the opponent's cars. Unlike in Hot Pursuit 2, they're much easier to disable them, be it shoving them to the side, joshing towards their backsides in blur blocks, and even using pursuit breakers. They're placed all over the city to be used to your advantage. Hell, you can even blow up gas stations and not kill yourself. Look at the numbers go. At least they fucking work! Though it starts slow. At Heat 1, it's really easy to escape, there's no roadblocks to worry about, and backup only arrives in 3 minutes. Boring. Heat 2 heats things up a bit with 10 maximum units and more aggression towards the players, with tactics like rolling blocks and stationary wall blocks, even if the latter doesn't show up that frequently. Backup is reduced to 2 minutes, but that's still time consuming, especially when you only have 1 unit chasing you. That's the maximum heat you get when you start your career, but moving from 1 to 2 takes a long while, like really long. Like 5 minutes long, but it feels way longer. You'll be stuck with these black and white Crown Vic knockoffs for a while until you reach the all blacks level. Thankfully, after unlocking Camden Beach, the bar feels quicker and you're at the maximum level of 3. That's when the pursuit gets real good. The state cops show up in their Monaros, 15 maximum, as well as the pairs of rhinos coming from the front to crash into you head on. Roadblocks are more frequent, but the backup timer is still the same, so meh. Later on, you'll unlock Heat 4 with the black Monaros and heavier rhinos trying to stop you. Worse yet, there's a chance that roadblocks can be spike strips, so you have to avoid the spikes. A few can be mischievous with the spikes put right in front of the blocking cars. How evil of ya. And the shopper is here too, giving the cops a good view of where your car is. Better go in a tunnel or whatever to block its view. Too bad your backup timer is still 2 minutes. But then we have the federal one, Heat 5, where the Corvettes take the charge. 25 maximum units chasing you, they have nitros to keep up with you, and the chopper will try to ram you off the road, so long as it's wide enough for it. Rarely successful, but great effort though. You know who can do a better job? Sergeant Cross. Though if you're expecting him to have something special, don't. He mostly acts like a regular Fed unit, just with a different coat of paint and a higher bounty if you disable his car. But it's nice that he's here. But thankfully, backup will show up in 90 seconds, though it can be frustrating when you're lingering for backup to arrive, just ghosting with 1 unit on your tail, only for them to just drive fast away from you with no chance to reach it. Coward! But hey, they can even show up in races like old times, so long as an event's probability is set to the max. Though they're not allowed to do much other than chase and drive someone off the road. No roadblocks, no chopper support, and no cross either. I'm sure they're not here due to black box, we're afraid they wouldn't be as fun as in the open world, and yeah, I get it. I really wish the reports from civilians happen when I speed, instead of just hitting enough props and traffic cars to trigger them in free roam. It doesn't help that the roads are chock full of breakable shit. Now, it might sound treacherous of me, as a despiser of cops, but I wish this game had an alternate mode for a quick race maybe, where you be a cop racing other drivers, much like the old NFS games where you're allowed to. Heck, make a mode called Become Cross where you play as him doing so, call reinforcements, assists, and what have you. I don't know, I just think it will be fun, especially with its amazing pursuit system. However, the toll booth and pursuit challenges cannot be done in quick race, but can be done in a challenge series. We have a total of 68 to 69 challenges depending on the version. Nice. Where it's all just toll booths, chases, toll booths, chases, toll booths, chases, toll booths, chases, toll booths, chases! Fun! Man, at least have some more variety in there. The only other downside, I guess, is that you're locked to a car you're given, which means that the top of events can be frustratingly hard as you progress. You have little margin of error, and the cops will be your worst nightmare, so good luck! Ah shit, one of the last challenges has you stay in pursuit for 30 minutes plus. At least it's shorter than most video essays. And hey, there's a few challenges where you drive either cop cars or traffic ones to break the monotony a bit. But anyways, 2 time-based milestones and a trading paint one. Not too bad anyway. Ah fuck, it introduces drag racing too. Raj is starting to get suspicious of Mia helping you, claiming that she has a long criminal record.
Hey, I've been digging around and it looks like that Mia chick's laying a lot of cash on you. I don't like her. I also found out she has a real long record. That means the cops are probably watching her. I'd stay away if I were you.
For the boss herself. Oh, she was real close in the first race, scaringly so. Then she shit the bed in the next. What a disappointment. I could have given her an A if not for that.
Don't underestimate her just because she's a chick. That girl can drive.
Can she though?
Is that supposed to impress me?
I tell her anywhere's good. What's really good? My hood.
Specializes in toll booth trials. This should be easy. I had a lot of difficulty with the milestones, mainly the roadblock one. Not because they're hard to get through, you can easily crash your way out by hitting their backside with your speed breaker. No, it's bad because you have to stay in pursuit for so long. The roadblocks only appear more often at Heat 3, and going from 2 to 3 is a damn slog at this point that you have to stick with being chased by unmarked pigs. It's just frustrating, and at one point my game crashed a minute after hitting Hit 3, and its notorious level got reset completely. Fuck! As for the racers, this is a drag race that I hate, as well as 2 speed trap races, but thankfully there's 2 toll booth trials and 2 sprint races. I expected more toll booth stuff from a guy who's into that. As for Big Lou himself, it felt like an even race on the first one. For about 45 seconds before he began trailing back hard. The second was the inverse. He ate shit for most of the race until that meathead decided to catch up and stick with me on the last lap. I guess he had a moment of clarity during those first 2 laps, but it was all in vain.
Dude, you bore me.
Rich guys.
Great, there's a rumor spreading throughout the scene that I might be working for the Cubs. How though? I keep making them tremble before me.
Make sure you prove them wrong. I'll take care of the guy spreading the rumor.
You're gonna kill him? More Roblox shit. Yay, I guess. At least the rest aren't as steelers as shit. But before I face them, I wanna talk about the open world.
Hey, do your thing. Hey, do your thing. Hey, do your thing. Hey, do your thing. Hey.
Welcome to the city of Rockport, in wherever the fuck USA. Massachusetts, Michigan, it is a mixture of many cities in the northern part of the East Coast, but whatever the state it's in, it's a nice place to look at. At least without the piss filter on. Unlike Bayview's 4, or 5 if you count Cole Harbour West as separate for some reason, the city is divided by 3 boroughs, and I'm just gonna cover all 3 right away, starting with Rosewood. It's the suburbs, it's the college campus, it's the country club with a big golf course, it's the one with a water park for some reason. I really love this place already. Hell, the campus is on a big roundabout, and it even has a large ring road around the borough, way bigger than Bayview Course. Look, there are some cows out there. Plus, it's way more varied in the environment, with more greenery and 2D mountains to drive past, as well as some mysterious and excessive bridges over the highway. How the hell do people even reach there? Look, there's the hospital, with a twisty road going across it, which you can also skip down through by jumping off. So much fun to get through it, as long as some tracks allow me to. Next up is Camden Beach, probably the most depressing beach town in the series, even without the filter. It's like I'm in Blackpool here. There's an amusement park, another suburb area with a trailer park, a refinery, and lots of industry. There is some good contrast going around here, and hey, there's an empty shipyard with no traffic nor cops to worry about, so you can just drive around as you please. Sure, there isn't any hidden stuff to get, like money coronas, or even hidden events like in Underground 2, but even then, I don't need an incentive to have some me time here. And there's also a penitentiary with a twisty road going across it, which you can also skip down through by jumping off. Wait, I've seen this before. Oh well, still fun anyway. And finally, we have downtown Rockport, the one with the big skyscrapers, the football stadium, the highway ring with a double spiral, a park with a concert hall, and the Times Square look-alike. Despite being the smallest borough, it also looks busy. If only traffic was even half as that. I was so fond of this part of the city as a kid, even being my favorite of the 3. Maybe I was such a big fan of seeing big buildings between the skies above or something. But over time, I tend to gravitate towards Rosewood. A lot more varied in the environments compared to this, where it's just big, tall building after another. There's not even a place with a twisty road going across it, which you can also skip down through by jumping off. At least there's a stadium you can drive through. Much like in Underground 2, the city layout is way curvier than any other American city, which I still love. Still makes for great racing, even if the tracks love to have sharp and square corners a lot. They make me use the speed breaker a lot more often than not. Plus, I love the amount of more interesting places to visit and drive through. A good thing the map isn't chock full of shops that only specialize in a specific part of the car. No, every tune shop is uniform, with all 3 categories of customization to get your car built like a champ. But the best part is that you don't need to drive to the event corona anymore. You just press down on the D-pad, select the race, and there you go, instantly in a race. Yeah, I'm sure you're missing the role-playing aspect of commuting to the event in UG2. I mean, you can still do that, and at least a shop is in your safe house as well, no big deal. Alright, what about this Baron fuck? No! Oh, he may be clingy, but at least the hospital shortcut is open. Or at least half of it, fuck off! I definitely should not pick the right path on the last corner, but yeah, he was really close in the first race, and yet somehow I managed to win the drag race in one try. Look at me.
You're nothing but bad luck!
Alright, I'm on the top 10. I wonder who's next. Here's a little trick. You can actually skip an upcoming Blacklist racer by just clicking right on the bottom right corner of the continue box into the defeated screen. You can thank me and many others later. Before I challenge them yet again though, I gotta talk about the car list. It's only 32 buyable cars, which is the same as the Underground 2, but it also has a few extra ones for Quick Race, as well as a Black Edition exclusive rides, totaling the count to 38. While the supercar selection is pretty good, it lacks Ferraris, as Microsoft back then had an iron grip on a license like he had with Porsche. Either that or Ferrari didn't allow them to put their cars in cup chases again. It's most likely that. It's also why Nissan and Honda isn't in the game either. Pursuits were the last straw for them, but they'll eventually return at one point or another. Whatever, I'm just happy there's a Ford GT in the game. As well as a strange selection of regular cars like the standard Audi A3 and A4, the Cadillac CTS, and even the Fiat fucking Punto. Yeah. Well, were they trying to appeal to every gearhead in the world? Probably would explain why there's a Clio V6 and 2 Monaras here. It's a shame there's no Holden version here. But other than that, the exclusions and the short list is still a pretty diverse one. You still have your GDM stars, more American muscle with the Corvette and the Viper turning to fun, and Porsches are back too. Hooray, I guess. And despite the game being released in late 2005, it still reused the blob-eyed Impreza.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Yeah, I get the Hawkeye didn't get sold overseas until the year after this game came out, but I just can't deal with this. I want my baby back! I'd also want a Peugeot too, but that's just my inner grok talking. Can't forget about the bonus cars like the 911 GT2, the SLA-AMG, and the Corvette C6R, which you can just unlock by finishing career mode, contrary to what this blurb says, as well as the Black Edition exclusive ones, first gen Camaro, and the street version of the M3 GT-R. Things that you can't buy, and yet the latter keeps showing up as opponents' cars. What a ripoff! But I'm thankful the customization has been toned down a lot. Maybe a bit too much. Now you can't put multiple vinyls in your car here. Shame. Now, at least you can put numbers on the sides and still put company decals all over the place. I ended up almost never using them, but I'm still glad they're here. And you don't need to do a specific time trial event to unlock white body kits because they're now unlockable through progression, like any other part. And it's just white body kits and no separate bumpers and skirts this time. Also no headlight designs, as some body kits come with partial covers instead. I'm fine with that, but I really wish the hatchbacks had better wings than these. They never look right. For performance, they're back to being bought in packages only, so there's that. It's too bad I can't put stock parts back for some reason. Want to remove that nitrous bottle for a self-import challenge? Too bad! But I'm glad that the star rating is finally gone, only to be replaced by a different meter. So we're back to this, right? Now, how do you reduce your heat? Well, you can drive a different car and let the other cool down after a few races, but that means having to have another car, and they can either be expensive or a matter of luck. Thankfully, there's a much simpler way. It is to just change the visuals of your car. Yeah, even if all you did was barely change the look, it'll still drop the heat significantly. No need to make your car a whole lot ugly either, just a different coat of paint, different rims with different colors, a vinyl change if you like, and you're golden. At least still way less of a requirement than the star rating one. At least there's no DVD cover shows to worry about, only speed traps. Alright, let's not delay any further, time to get serious.
Jump him right away. He's the only guy stopping you from getting into Rockport. Let's get this done.
That may sound like an understatement. To most, it really was. Makes one wonder why he is a number one. The first event wasn't so bad, despite being a speed trap race. This would have been perfect for Earl, but it's not. The next one is the real challenge. A long 4-minute sprint race with no traffic whatsoever. And Earl here is at his best by mostly sticking with you by the end. Usually I tend to win the Blacklist races with little to no restarts. The drag events are an outlier though, but for the case of Earl, I had 4 tries. 2 of those were when I tried to tune the steering response and handling. Only made my car worse. Yeah, unlike in Underground 2, the tuning has been very simplified, so no dyno this time. But at least I can do a quick tuning in the pause menu. However, even with no tuning whatsoever, as long as you drive an all-wheel drive car with some Junkman parts and use the speed breaker wisely, you too can defeat Earl without wasting your precious time. A difficult task, sure, but not impossible. So yeah, Earl may be intimidating and menacing, but he's still beatable at the end of the day.
I am wise. I am Buddha. Get lost.
I expected worse, but with that, the whole Rockport map is finally unlocked. And now that I have to deal with the rest of the story, as well as career mode and the last half of the Blacklist, this should be easy peasy.
Control.
Can we control? Can we control? 'Cause when we come through.
Here's this fashionista. Welcome to the shade section, where besides the last two, everyone else is wearing sunglasses in their portraits, and I felt like doing the same. Remember how boring the career mode felt in Underground 2? So much padding that felt like it'll never end? Well, Most Wanted fixes that big issue. With 15 Blacklist racers, you gotta have some good pacing, and it thankfully does. Before you confront the boss, you have to do a few races and pursue milestones and get enough bounty to do so. For the races, I'm thankful you don't have to do all of them to progress, and no hidden events either, so no hunting for anything. Good, it was good on paper, but I didn't like it. At least it gave me a bit more cash than usual. And again, I love that you can just enter a race via the Safe House menu and through the D-pad menu. So convenient. Underground 2 also lets you do that, but not during your current stage. Ugh. I'm glad I don't have to do the drag events here, only when I'm forced to do so in the Blacklist races. Back to cop chases, we have the milestones, challenges you get to do during pursuit. It can be crossing enough roadblocks, hitting enough units, getting enough infractions, staying pursuing over a set time, or do it before time runs out, whatever. Now sure, it will be a bore to do some of its milestones, especially the late game ones, like the trade paint and the time ones, but when the cop chases in this game are so good in my opinion, I don't mind as much. Though if that's too much for you or you're too scared to avoid the spikes, you can always do the speed trap ones in the open world, though it's always a requirement to get into at least one cop chase to meet the bounty requirement. Earn them by passively being chased, accomplish the milestones, or destroy their cars. Still love how easy it is to do that here, but try not to get arrested while doing so, otherwise you'd either have to give them one of your remaining get out of jail free cards, or pay the fine and reset the heat level back to 1, plus a strike, 3 strikes or up to 5, and your car gets impounded. I hope you have more cons than your pesky punto. While I did get busted a few times, I luckily never got one of my cars impounded. Oh, the chases can be hard, but not too hard thankfully. At least you can earn markers that let you release your car from the impound for free, if you're lucky. While there is some padding, since you're facing 15 Blacklist racers, it didn't feel much like a chore compared to Underground 2. I mean, the late game ones can take up over an hour each, but even then, they can feel like a breeze. So yeah, Most Wanted's career mode is really my favorite of the Black Box era games. As for the duel, she's just like Baron, rumble bending as an advantage for her in a drag race when I won the first try on this playthrough. And another one. Great!
I like your anger, man. Let's fuel your racing next time.
Yeah, it's Ronnie here. Huh, you think beating him was easy?
That was a shit, Ronnie. One of the 2 Japanese Blacklist racers is she's a crazy bitch nicknamed Kamikaze. I don't know how I should feel about this, but she really likes Costa State and Roblox. While the story is rather simple, even deep down, it's still a lot more entertaining than in Underground 2. There, it didn't feel like I was progressing much since there's barely any story bits in between cutscenes. In here, even if there's no cutscenes, aside from the Blacklist rivalry intros, between me getting the PDA and confronting Razor once again, which is a long while, the game still keeps me posted via voice messages, brought to you by Singular. Sophie may have said that it's a terrible way to tell a story, but I disagree. At least you get some nice acting from them. From Mia being all helpful and maybe sexy, I assume.
I got some info on that police chopper. If they're on you, just duck out under some cover. They may be fast, but they can't see through objects. Just make sure they don't see you driving into the spot or they'll call in ground units.
Watch giving you tabs on the Blacklist.
Jules is ready when you are. She may be a sweet girl, but remember, take her out and you're number 8 on the Blacklist.
Do even your rivals taunting you?
Heard you're back in. I hope you enjoyed your vacation. Maybe I should call you sweetheart now, huh?
You won't get away with this, you son of a bitch! And I like that every Blacklist racer has some flavor text in their bios, fleshes them out a bit more. Kaze herself isn't as challenging as I'd hoped. Yeah, she was clean in the first race, but she dropped back further in the second one. I guess her craziness ended up being her downfall in the end. She should have been a D had she had a drag race in the boss section.
Don't get all excited, cause it don't mean nothing.
I heard about Razor's bribes. No one's buying it. People are starting to back off. On top of that, I got a contact with the city that just dropped your heat. As far as the cops are concerned, you're off their list for now. It should give you some breathing room.
Motherfucking thanks for nothing! Thought it was a girl at first as a kid, but it's actually a guy with a soul patch, eyeliner, and a biker suit. Boring. Now that Kaze is defeated, I can finally buy that pretzel. No, the other one. Hello, Dolly. Holy shit, this thing is so loud. Oh great, Cross is calling me.
Hello. Now I want you to know that you've been moved up in the world. Now you and I have our own rules. And if you're wondering how I got your number, let's just say not everyone out there is your friend. Especially when they need to get their ride out of lockup.
Razor. Man, I'm gonna hit 22 coppers? Sure, you don't need to do all that to confront Ming, but still. I wonder how this pretty boy introduces himself. Murder! Yeah! So, how did you get up there? Not as clingy as the last few racers. I'm starting to think they're getting easy on me. While his last race was a speed trap one, it wasn't much of a deal, especially when I was ahead of him. Shame I made a mistake here, but that didn't cost me much.
I swear by these looks, you ain't never gonna beat me. Just what I thought was up now.
Play by Dev, like the previous guy. They both didn't get any say, so they're no Joseph Q-Can. Even Raj calls Webby a pencil neck.
This pencil neck is ready to go. Hook it up and smoke him.
That doesn't mean he's easy pickings, however. Okay, he is, but this is the first Blacklist racer to deviate from the two-race structure, as he has one more race before you move to the next one. This is gonna suck. While I like that his milestones include getting enough bounty and cost estate, you also have to drive past 6 spike strips, so you better get up to Heat 4 for that. Plus the pursuit time of under 2 minutes. At least so challenges from later racers stuck to just that. Webster is such a disappointment though. Clingy at first, but dropped off considerably by the last few kilometers of the first event, and in the next two, we just horribly fell off. My god! You know he was in for a bad time. When two other races take place on the same track, same layout, direction, and finish line to boot, and also because you just suck at it. No wonder it's called a pencil neck.
They must have really lowered the standards this year.
Now that I can finally reach the Fat Vet heat, I get to meet Cross more often. Son of a bitch, might as well start killing for kicks.
Let me see some heads nodding, fist pumping, feet stomping at.
I can see why he's popular. Like Webster, half of his pursuit milestones are about racking up points, bounty, and cost estate. And the Fractions one is quick and easy. The only one that takes a while is the 28 unit paint trade one, but even then, as long as you're in heat 3 and above, and stick to the highways where roadblocks show up more often, you're pretty much set for life. At this point, the game becomes a lot easier to win. Opponents go easy on me, the princes are a lot charitable, and the pursuits, well, they're still harsh, but still, it is not just me driving with car mods. Spoiler alert, but I did a second playthrough with just the vanilla version, aside from a few QOL scripts that barely alter the gameplay. And yeah, the outcome ended up being the same. I guess even the game wants me to go home smoothly as I get to the number 1 spot. And yeah, even if it feels a bit like a chore, it still isn't boring as shit, unlike Underground 2. So what about Joe here? 2 speed trap races and a drag one in the middle. What's not to dislike? You know, I think this pretzel is a little too OP for my liking. Too nimble, too quick, too much like an X2010 really. So to hamper myself, I went with Webster's Vet. Bit of a slidey dog, which is good. And I really like how the first boss race starts, with a good old-fashioned western duel, but with cars instead of guns. It was challenging, as he stayed close to me, and his drag race was a bit bullshit. However, his last race basically went belly up for JV, as he was just drilling back a lot, as if saying, "This is your destiny, son, and I will not put a stop to that." Hey, don't call me son.
These guys are nothing but a distraction.
Yeah, it's Ronnie next. Rich kid who now drives his graduation gift of a DB9, but still thinks he's gangster. Whatever you say, poser. Just don't say the N-word, please. Despite me just destroying the whole police system in Rockport, Razor still thinks I'm working for the cops.
Seems that the races in the boroughs are getting busted before they start. I mean, the cops are all over the place. Now the last person to go through there was you. Let's just say I'm not the only one who's noticed.
Yeah, I'm just gonna speed through these since the pursuit stuff just end up being similar. Run it home, boys. Since he's the number 3 guy on the Blacklist, I'm expecting some difficulty and a lot of restarts. But I do like the intro for Ronnie's first race. You made me wait, asshole. Let's get this over with. Oh, for fuck's sake, what is he even doing? Why is he sucking so much? Whatever, I'm sure the next race will get me. Oh, whoops, I brought the scaffolding down. What? He didn't get around that? The previous Blacklist racers tend to do that? What the fuck? Oh no! I crashed into a wall and Ronnie passed me. Maybe this will be the one. Oh, who am I fucking? Maybe I shouted you because you suck ass all the time!
I knew you weren't Blacklist material.
Right, time to take off my shades now. Razor's right-hand man. Surely will fuck me over hard unlike last time, right? Dum-de-dum, doing some preliminary races here and there. What the fuck?
Now you're either helping the cops or someone you're hanging with is, and I don't care either way. But let's see how you like it when the tables are turned.
Thanks, I needed that. Look, I'm certain Bill will be miles better than Ronnie. Surely. Oh no! No! Tell me! How is Earl not number 2 at least?
He did not look pretty behind the wheel. It physically pained me to watch that guy drive, you know what I'm saying?
If he had long hair and aviator shades, I'd punch him harder. At least I don't have to force myself to go through spike strips. Yeah, just get this over with.
It's time. Bring yourself and that pathetic ride of yours to the location on the map. Don't make me wait.
There's no stopping the hype. The thing is locked. There's more money on this than anybody's ever seen. People as far as Bayview are throwing cash down on this.
I bet Caleb is betting on Razor. Bad news, brah. So what's it gonna be? Oh my god!
Make sure you smoke him and get that ride back. I'll take care of the rest.
Ready to donate another car to the Razor Fund, baby?
I don't know. Am I supposed to drive it out of here or something? First is a speed trap race. Usually when my opponent is way behind, it's a bad sign. But holy shit, he's way back there. And then I still won. Oh boy, am I about to be disappointed with him. Either that or this karma is just so OP. Thankfully, I had a lot of trouble with the drag race. I got totaled so many times. And at least he was clingy in the next one, only for him to just eat shit at this part. And even if he recovered, he was trailing back by the end. Same thing happened for the next one. What the hell? But I'm glad the hospital shortcut is fully up in the last sprint race. Holy shit, that was painful for him. It's really hard for him to recover from. I gotta be honest, I am not satisfied. Just feels wrong to drive such an OP car, a mod car at that. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna restart this whole career mode, but I'll be sticking with the vanilla lineup and no other mods to help me. Plus, while it is nice, I will also deny myself from ever using nitrous. From buying my first car to getting my Beamer back, no nos. And how about some color too? I'm tired of piss now. I wanted to tell you I'm coming out as a trans woman. That's great. As a friend, I'll support you no matter what. Man, HRT sure is amazing. Why the fuck do you look like me?
Earl here. What's up?
No, thank you.
You know what? Let's make this a bit more difficult. No upgrades.
Ready to donate another car to the...
I could have done a stock Punto run, but I like to keep my sanity with me. Despite that, Razor still doesn't give me my car back and would rather suggest getting physical with him.
And if you want these, you're gonna have to take them.
Okay. But Mia just takes the keys from him. Oh.
It ain't over until I say it's over.
Wait, what? This can't be happening. This can't be. Fuck, not again! How can this be? The woman that helped me the most through my journey is nothing but a cop? Just so infuriating. Wait, hold on. What did Cross tell me way back when I first met him?
I've got a beautiful little surprise that's gonna tear you guys apart from the inside out.
Oh my god, now I get it. The PDA, the info she got, the rumors of me being a cop, the serial claim I hate for me, it's all coming together. How did I not notice a lot sooner? It's not really that much of a big shocker, but damn, it's a more heart-wrenching reveal than a similar one in Undercover. Helps that Mia was really friendly towards me throughout. And hey, at least she let me escape, probably sacrificing her job in the process.
Where's the other guy?
He got away.
You mean to tell me the most wanted street racer happened to get away? I want every single unit after the guy.
Everyone?
Yes.
I see.
Okay, I'm not gonna blue ball you further. You've earned it.
Everyone?
Everyone!
District members be advised, we have a code 6 suspect attempting to evade police. Driver has aggressively engaged members to avoid custody.
There we go, hit fucking 6, comprised solely of unmarked Corvettes and supercharged Rhinos at a maximum of 30 units before backup. At least they're not all SUVs, but worse yet, you can't go to cooldown mode as you're always in pursuit. That evade bar will never fill up, and by god, the game will make you learn it well. You may think it's literally impossible to win the game, as your only option is to give in to the Sarge and, I don't know, get a lethal injection.
We've been able to pick up every Blacklist racer thanks to you. Now, I'll take that into consideration if you give yourself up. So what's it gonna be?
But don't worry, after 5 minutes... Mia calls me!
It's Mia.
What the fuck do you want, you treacherous bitch?
Look, don't hang up. You can't go back to any of the safe houses. Cross knows about them. Head over to the old bridge. The location is on your map. Your car is fast enough to make the jump. It's the only way. Later.
I hope it's not a trap. You know what? Just for that, I'm giving it an S.
That's what I'm talking about. That's how we get things done.
Yeah, I shouldn't count the cop chase bit as part of Razors, but I don't give a shit. And with that, my shenanigans in Rockport are over, and Cross marks me as a national threat. I guess the mess I committed there made me be considered as dangerous as Osama bin Laden. Sure, I can take it. Man, screw this town, and fuck that bitch in particular. I'll dress up as someone else for the rest of it. Hey, what's this road taking me anyway? So that was Most Wanted. While it is somehow longer than Underground 2, it didn't feel like it. It was very well paced and more importantly, it was way more fun to play. The cars handle great, the city is so nice to explore, the pursuits are difficult, yeah awesome, the story is more engaging even if it's mostly voicemail, and you can't forget about the massive modding community. Holy shit, this is so great! It's not just car mods with tons of extra customization, but also HUD mods, new events, difficulty tweaks in both races and cup chases, and even one that gives it a day and night cycle. And it looks so amazing! At least without the piss filter. This kind of stuff is why this game is so well remembered, and I wouldn't have it any other way. The Peggy edition also exists, but despite my issues, this is still an awesome game. It's a real shame that there will never, ever be another game like this again. Because it will be called a cheap rehash if by fans. I'm looking at you, dangerous driving and recreation. And now I'm back to being bootleg Revy, who's white for some racist reason, because we're not done with this video. We have the handheld versions to talk about. And by versions, I mean one. I already mentioned the GBA version and the DS one briefly, but instead of suffering too much with them, I'll be playing the PSP one. 510 by Team Fusion. Or is it 510? Whatever. If you know shit about police codes, ACAB! But also, you read this as Need for Speed, Most Wanted, Reckless Driving. A bit of trivia there. Start up, and it reuses the intro from the main game, except it has a warm-up for some reason. Don't let it fool you, this is not a straight port. Let's start this career. The star selection is different, there's no Punto, shame I guess. But there's a Mazda 3 that you can use as your first car, so that's something. There is also neither free roam nor plug to speak of, despite having the same Blacklist as the main game, and having this bitch showing up in loading screens when you restart a race. Someone who's never played the main game before this will see this and go, who's that woman? I'm guessing it's taking cues from the GBA version of Underground or something. Thankfully, you don't have to call races to challenge them, as the structure is a lot similar to the main game. Win races to get enough points in order for you to challenge the Blacklist racer. Simple, really. First impressions are everything. Ah, jeez, it reuses the engine noises from Underground 1 again! But yeah, it's very similar to Underground Rivals, only it's a bit worse. It's pissy and less colorful, just like the main game. And there's no way to disable the filter since, well, this is not a PC game. But being a PSP game is no excuse to look like shit compared to other games released at the time. I mean, it's better than the DS version, but come on. The scenery still has that oversized look from UG Rivals, and the cars look worse than the ones in Burnout Legends. The shaky cam and the motion blur don't help. And don't get me started on the sound, though I'm surprised this one got the voice clips from the main game, if less so. I hope you like the phrase speeds way over the postal limit, because the cops are gonna say that a lot more often than in the main game. While the soundtrack has been slightly reduced, it's weird that this game has the nearly full versions of the songs compared to the console original. Gameplay, I'd say it's similar to UG Rivals, which is to say that it can be twitchy even when driving with the stick, that your opponents are about as inconsistent as them in the main game, and races can sometimes be a slog. But hey, Nitrous can refuel itself now. I forgot to say I cannot do that in UG Rivals in my last video, though Speed Breaker here is very much superfluous. There are no corners sharp enough to warrant that, and the roadblocks are too easy to dodge. Race types are more reduced. There's only circuits, knockouts, time trials, and something called a heat challenge, where you must be at a heat level over it before time runs out. Rather easy said than done, really. I'm glad there's no speed traps, no drag races to worry about, but there's also tournaments here, fuck! And most of the races in career mode, except the Blacklist racers, have cup chases. And I have to say, they are so much worse than in the main game. Yeah, the cup car does keep up with you, and it's always one cup car or two. No more than that, the PSP can't handle that much power. Don't look at the GTA games for it. However, they're so darn aggressive, they really love to bump and grind me a lot. Buy me dinner first. Worse yet, it's impossible to disable them. All you can do is to just pray that they hit a roadblock and have a moment of respite. At least they don't take the shortcuts, guess they're not in their jurisdiction. But unlike in the main game, roadblocks do show up during the race. It's a shame they look like this and they don't block the road completely. The police department is both strong yet incompetent at the same time. This is just a far cry from the console game. When you just finish a race, you can also partake in an hour-one challenge where you must escape from the cops before time runs out. Seems pretty good on paper. Just like its namesake in Underground 2, you have to reach a certain distance between you and the cop wagon to win, 250 meters in this case. But since the cops are ultra bastards this time, they can be infuriating. This isn't anything like escaping them in the main game. Plus, this part can be really inconsistent, and the bonus respect is even worth it most of the time. They're worthless as fuck. Like Uggo rivals, the track list is a hodgepodge of courses living from Hot Pursuit 2 and Underground 2 this time, as well as a few original ones, unless they're also lifted from other EA games before this. A few are modified, like one of the Alpine tracks from HP2, and this one is just national forests with a bit of coastal parklands added in, but other than that, they're the same layouts. Much like the ones in their respective games, they're fine, a bit too long at times, especially the Hot Pursuit 2 ones. Why did it have to be one of the tropical ones? Of course, the scenery is different, fitting in the grimy theme of the main game. While it works well, I sense a few reused assets, like this ad for billboard for soup. Shame there's no Burger King ads plastered everywhere though. The car list is very much reduced and is very noticeable. Only 60 unique cars here. No Toyotas, no Monaros, one Audi, no Dodge Viper for some reason, and no Punto, but who gives a shit here? This can be a problem for the Blacklist, as certain drivers won't have their preferred cars from the console version here, but at least there's the Mazda 3 and the Bible 3 version of the M3 GT-R. Customization is very similar to Underground rivals, except you can't put your own decals anymore, and performance upgrading is more simplified, now back to strictly packages. I actually don't mind though, but still, what a small number of cars. Need I remind you, this was a rushed product. As for the Blacklist racers, at least there's just one race per event this time, but because of the short list, the car selection is just so odd here. Sony is fine, he still has the blue Golf. Big Lou is the same, and so is Izzy, even if the livery is backwards. Taz's car is not a Lexus, is none of that here, or Toyota for that matter. At least I got the livery right. Can you guess what Vic drives though? Oh no. What about Baron's? Hey, that's Razor's Mustang. What's going on here? Oh no! Yeah, it's pretty obvious they have to make some changes, but holy shit, couldn't they get the cars and liveries right? Why is Jules driving an Audi TT with Webster's livery? Why is Ming driving Baron's car? Why is Ronnie driving my car? Wait, that's not even my car, it's a street version of the GT-R. What a fucking mess. Hold on, let me try my best Raj impersonation. This fool thinks he got a sleeper, calls the reverse psychology. Bullshit! Anyways, for the Blacklist race, we move on to the next, as well as unlocking a bonus event for a way to get a bonus upgrade. Neat. Pierre Dupont? I thought his name was Eugene James. Fuck! But hey, here's something the main game doesn't have. Tuner Takedown. You get to play as a cop, finally! Though it's not really what I wished for. Here, you have to take down the races by hitting enough times. Take down enough of them, and move on to the next stage. Few of them have you take down a boss racer that'll take a long while to deplete its bar. It's not bad, at least it's more challenging and more fun than the takedown missions on the cover, but this is still the pursuit mode from Burnout 2, aka the less refined road rage after all. No assistance, no backup, it's just you against the racers. Why not just get Burnout Legends instead? So yeah, 510. It's not the worst, but I've certainly played better, even in the same handheld. You know you're in trouble when CMR 5 and Midnight Club 3 on the thing, despite missing a few bits from the console originals on very faithful ports released some months before this. Shameful! But what did I expect? This is a rushed mess that was released way less than a year after Underground Rivals. EA really were treating them like slaves, huh?
Is that your plan?